You know what's fascinating about pivotal moments in history? When someone receives multiple divine warnings about danger ahead but charges forward anyway, like Paul's journey to Jerusalem, where prophets literally acted out the persecution awaiting him.
That's such a powerful image. This prophet Agabus taking Paul's belt, binding himself with it, and declaring, "This is exactly what will happen to you in Jerusalem."
Well, what makes it even more compelling is that these weren't just random predictions. They came from multiple respected sources in different cities. The Holy Spirit was clearly trying to prepare Paul for what lay ahead.
Hmm. But there's an interesting distinction between the warnings themselves and how people interpreted them, isn't there?
That's exactly right. The prophecies were genuine, but the conclusion, don't go to Jerusalem, seems to have been human addition. Even Paul's close friend Luke was begging him to turn back, but Paul had this unshakable conviction about his mission.
You know what strikes me about Paul's response? He essentially says, "Look, you're breaking my heart with all this pleading, but I'm ready not just for chains. I'm ready to die in Jerusalem for Jesus."
And here's where it gets really interesting. When Paul actually arrives in Jerusalem, he tries to bridge cultural gaps by participating in Jewish purification rituals. He's showing respect for tradition while standing firm on his core message.
So, what exactly triggered the violent reaction against him? It seems like things escalated incredibly quickly.
Well, some Jews from Asia Minor saw him in the temple and jumped to conclusions. They assumed he had brought Gentiles into restricted areas, which was actually punishable by death. There were literally signs posted in Greek and Latin warning that violators could be executed even if they were Roman citizens.
The way Paul handled that moment, though, it's remarkable. Even after being beaten and rescued by Roman soldiers, his first thought was about addressing the crowd.
Right. And what's fascinating is his strategic approach. He speaks to the Roman commander in educated Greek, completely upending their assumption that he was some uneducated troublemaker. Then he addresses the mob in Hebrew, essentially saying, I'm still one of you, even after they tried to kill him.
That must have been such a powerful moment. The same crowd that was just attacking him, falling silent to listen.
You know what adds another layer to this? Years earlier, Paul had been on the other side. He was part of the mob that approved Stephen's execution. Now he's experiencing almost exactly what Stephen did, but responding with remarkable composure and empathy.
The parallels between his experience and Jesus' final days in Jerusalem are pretty striking too. The hostile crowds, the shouts of, "Away with him," the false accusations.
And like Jesus, Paul maintained this laser focus on his mission, despite knowing the dangers ahead. The prophecies weren't meant to stop him, they were meant to prepare him. It's like this perfect microcosm of how conviction and courage can overcome fear.
That really challenges our modern perspective on warnings and obstacles, doesn't it? Sometimes they're not stop signs, they're preparation for the path ahead.
Exactly. And I think that's why this story has endured. It's about maintaining both conviction and compassion in the face of opposition, about understanding that sometimes the hardest path forward is exactly the one we're meant to take.
And about finding that balance between respecting traditions while standing firm on what matters most.
Well, looking at the bigger picture, this whole episode really marked a turning point in early Christianity, where the tensions between Jewish traditions and the new faith came to a head. It's fascinating how these same themes of cultural conflict and conviction still resonate today.